Hi y'all, Elaine here. countryhomeandheart.net is my website, and this is Saturday, so what we're going to do today for dinner is I'm going to make easy ground beef hoagies. Now, I got this recipe several years ago from a friend of mine at church, and I have since tweaked it, and my recipe really doesn't resemble hers anymore, but it is a really good recipe. I used to use this a lot when my kids were growing up because I never knew how much company they were going to have. And so we had a lot of times had unexpected people for dinner, and this recipe can very easily be doubled or even tripled to make enough for everybody to go around, and it's very, very easy. So let's go ahead and get this started. Okay, I'm going to turn you down here so you can see. Okay, I'm going to turn the heat on the skillet. There we go. Okay. And I have some onions that I have quartered, and then I sliced the quarters into thin slices there, so I have these little pieces, and I'm just going to toss that in. This will be getting hot enough in just a minute. Okay, let me get a spatula. And we're just going to get this started a little bit right here. And when this gets close to getting ready, the pan gets a little hotter, I'm going to go ahead and add these mushrooms into this. And we're going to saute these onions and mushrooms together. Okay, yeah, that's starting to warm up. So we're going to go ahead and put these mushrooms. And this is just sliced mushrooms, and these are, this was a 16-ounce package. Okay, and we're just going to saute these together. And I'm going to put a little salt in here. And a little bit of pepper. Okay. And now when this gets a little closer to being done, we're going to add some ground beef. Okay, I'm going to add just a little more olive oil to that. I don't think I had quite enough in there, so let's just put a little more in. Oops, sorry about that. Didn't mean to bump you. I bumped my tripod a little bit. Okay, and this is already starting to smell pretty good. Okay, when these get a little closer to being done, I'm going to add the hamburger. So we'll be back when I get the hamburger added. Okay, I'm back, and I have added the hamburger to my mushrooms and my onions. And to that, I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of onion powder. This is onion powder, not onion salt. Onion powder. And we're just going to sprinkle that right in. Okay. And I've turned my heat down just a little bit because I don't want that hamburger to scorch. So we're just going to let that cook. And while that's cooking, I'm going to pick up a little bit so you can see. This also has 1 packet of mushroom gravy in there, and I'm just going to go ahead and get this mushroom gravy mixed up. So I'm going to add 1 cup of water to the mushroom gravy, and I'm going to get my whisk and just start stirring that up. And when this gets done, the hamburger gets done, we're going to drain this and add that mushroom gravy. So, and it's starting to look pretty good. Okay. Alright, let's get this gravy over here stirred. My kids and their friends used to just love this when they were teenagers. And it does make pretty good hoagie sandwiches if you've ever had the hoagie sandwiches. And along with this, I'm also going to fix some fried green tomatoes that I got today at a market we stopped at, a farmer's market, and they looked really good. So they are actually sitting in the refrigerator right now. And they're, I already got them coated with the flour and the cornmeal, and I just got them in the refrigerator. Because once you, if you dip them in milk and egg and then roll them in the cornmeal and the flour, and then refrigerate them, that'll help the coating stay on when you fry them up. So we'll be frying those up shortly when this gets done, because this really does not take long to make at all. As you can see, it's already starting to come together. And when this ground beef does get done, what we're going to do is we're going to drain it. We're going to get all this juice and stuff from the mushrooms and everything drained off. And I've already put the salt and pepper in this, and I have onion powder. And so after, when this gravy gets done and the hamburger gets done, we're also going to add 1 cup of mozzarella cheese to this, and that's going to make it really good. Okay, and the gravy is starting to get done over here. Okay, what I'm going to do is finish cooking this ground beef and getting this gravy together, and when I get the ground beef drained and ready to mix this together, we'll be back. Okay, I'm back, and my hamburger is done, and I have already taken it to the sink and drained it. And now I'm going to stir in this mushroom gravy. This was just a packet of the dry mix, and you can use it or you can use the jar if you like. Whatever you want to use, whatever's easier for you to use is fine. And we have that mixed in. Okay, and now I'm going to mix in 1 cup of mozzarella cheese. And also on those mushrooms, if you don't have fresh mushrooms, canned mushrooms will also work. I just prefer the taste of the real mushrooms, so typically that's what we use. Okay, just a little bit there. There we go. Okay, and now I'm just going to stir this around and get that cheese evenly distributed. Just like that. Okay, you can see how it looks. It's starting to, the cheese is beginning to melt and it gets pretty stringy, but this will be very, very good when you put this on a hoagie roll, and this cheese will start to really dissolve into the meat after a while. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this, I'm going to put this on a different burner over here and set this on low heat, just basically just to keep it warm. And let me put a lid on it. Okay, we'll just put the lid on it and set it over here to keep it warm. And I'm going to get this grease hot that I have right here and start my tomatoes. Now I'm going to feature the fried green tomatoes in another video, probably a little bit later in the summer. So you'll be able to see exactly how I do that. But just for tonight, I'm just going to get these started in this skillet right here. Okay, and that's just a little canola oil in that skillet, and I'm waiting for that to get hot. And let me get my tomatoes out. You see, I have already coated the tomatoes, and I put them in a Ziploc bag, just put them in the refrigerator. So now all I have to do is wait for this to get hot, and I can put them in here and fry them. And let me turn this up here for a minute so I can talk to you. I also have a good way to do corn on the cob, which is something else I'm going to have tonight. I got these really nice ears of corn today also when I was at the farmer's market. And you see I kind of cut this little end off here that had the silks on it. And what I'm going to do is put it in the microwave just like this for 3 minutes. And then once it's been in there for 3 minutes, we're going to cut this end off, and it'll slide right out of the skin, out of the husk with all the silks and everything. You won't have to you don't have to shuck it and pull all those little silks out and everything. It just all comes right out, and I will show you that when we get it done. Okay, so I'm going to turn this back down. I think this is getting hot. Okay. Yeah, it looks like it's getting pretty close. Yep. Okay. Now, as with any fried food, we're not going to overcrowd the pan. I'm just going to lay these in here. And we're going to do this in batches, so it will probably take me several batches to get these ready. So we're just going to put that right in there. Okay, and there's the first batch. Okay, and I'm going to turn the camera off and fry these up, and we'll be back with you in just a moment. Okay, my fried green tomatoes are done, and also I have had this corn in the oven, or in the microwave, I'm sorry, for 3 minutes. So we're going to go ahead and turn this around. This is very hot, so you have to make sure you have pot holders when you do this. But we're going to cut this end right here, and cut that end right off. And then we're just going to kind of squeeze this out like that. And see how we're getting this squeezed out, and it's coming right out without any, see, it doesn't have any silks or anything, and this is perfectly cooked. I'm going to get a hold of it on this side a little bit. This is perfectly cooked corn, and you see there's no silks, and I'm going to cut this little tiny end right here off of it as well. And there we are. So I have a couple of more of these to do, and I will be right back with you when I get this done. Okay, I'm back, and everything is ready, and I have this all plated up, and I'm going to show you what it looks like. Okay. And here is my plate. I have some fried green tomatoes, and there's the hoagie sandwich, what that looks like. Now this is only 1/2 because those things are huge and I can't eat that much. But there's the corn. You can see how the corn on the cob just came out perfectly in the microwave. Like I say, you microwave 3 minutes and you're done. No silks or nothing to clean up. And this recipe, here's my husband's plate. And he's got fried green tomatoes and some corn and the hoagie sandwich. Those hoagies will make enough. Let me turn this up so I can talk to you. Those hoagies will make enough to feed anywhere from 2 to 4 people, depending on serving size. And like I said earlier, this can be easily doubled or even tripled if you have a lot more than that coming and you want to be able to use more than that. So we're going to eat, and I thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.